Hey, what's up? I'm Mo,
And I'm Jo.
and this is Mojo and the Outsiders podcast brought to you by Backwoods Adventure Mods. On this episode, we're going to tell y'all a little bit about ourselves, our trip to Expo Mountain West, and small town sheriffs along the way. Man, I'm glad to finally get this thing off the ground. This podcast, we're going to talk kind of about everything from off-roading, camping, fishing, kind of all the things, we like to do. I know J.O.'s from the Delta area, so I know he's grown up hunting and stuff. Why don't you tell me about all that?
Yeah. So I grew up not quite in the Delta. All my mom's side of the family did. I grew up in Central Arkansas, but it's really heavy with like duck hunting, deer hunting, all that type of stuff. Definitely grew up in like a hunting family. My dad hunted a lot. I got pushed into hunting pretty heavy as a kid. So it was like one of those deals where when I was a kid, I kind of got where I was like, man, I really don't like this going and sitting in a deer stand staring at the field for 12 hours. So then I kind of got more into duck hunting, and that definitely was a lot more my speed, being able to walk around, talk to your buddies, and do all that type of stuff. And that's kind of what got me originally into the outdoors. And then I started rock climbing in college, did that for a little bit, and then kind of got out of the outdoors for a long time. And then, yeah, got into off-roading, camping, stuff like that. And man, I've been doing it ever since. I mean, it's hard to keep me out of the woods for a long time. What's your outdoor experience, Mo?
Oh, gosh, lucky to have grown up in this area. We're located in Northwest Arkansas and grew up small town America, Gentry, USA. So being outdoors was something I've always done, whether it be floating the rivers, kind of how we started, fishing it as well. And then, finally getting into kayak and stuff like that. And then, you can't do that all year. So getting to biking and hiking and stuff like that and stuff that just keeps you outside. We've got a great area for it. So very, very, very fortunate to kind of have grown up here.
Also, with us being up here, we're super lucky. We have anything from, like Mo said, paddling. We have tons of mountain biking. I mean, great camp spots, 45 minutes out our back door. I mean, seriously, we're in kind of like a little hidden gem. Probably shouldn't have advertised that, but hey, we did.
We're beyond
So-
blessed. You can tell the word's out already. You look around here and it's growing and stuff like that. But it's still a place I love to call home and get out every chance I get.
Yeah, so Mo and I, we both work, of course, for Backwoods Adventure Mods. We both do sales and some of the marketing. So generally, if you call and, you have any questions or anything like that, it's probably going to be Mo or myself answering. And, we love it. Neither of us have any type of degrees or anything like that. We're both ex-tradesmen. So I was a plumber for about 8 years. Mo did HVAC for, how long did you do it?
I did HVAC for right around 5, 6 years. And same thing, right? It's funny where you and I have landed, being this side of things, going from being a consumer to doing customer service, and it's easy for us because having been on that side of it, we just treat people how we would love to be treated if we were to call a company with any kind of issues. So good things.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I constantly have to kind of keep that in the back of my head that, hey, I was a consumer for a long time. And, it's like whenever you're dealing with an issue, it's always just nice to kind of put yourself into their shoes. And that's something that Mo and I feel, that we do really well with for sure. So.
Oh yeah, and beyond fortunate that Backwoods kind of lets us, take care of folks, and they stand behind their product better
Yeah.
than most manufacturers. So, yeah, we're beyond blessed to be here, and I'm not in a hot attic, you're not in a crawl space, so I'd say we're on the up and up.
Yeah, we're definitely living the dream for sure. So no,
Climate controlled jobs,
yeah,
what a thing.
absolutely.
But yeah. It's been fun, a learning curve. I know, stuff I had to adjust to, probably some of the same things you had to adjust to up here and, kind of being stationary, not running job to job, driving a van here to there and made the adjustment and it's tough to see me going back.
Yeah. That's always been really cool for sure. Kind of seeing, different side of things. And yeah, Mo and I were like super, super blessed. And, speaking of being super blessed, we actually just got back from
Yeah.
Mountain West. So how sick was that, dude?
Well, like I said, yeah. I mean, super fun, get to go do these events. Those are other things, that have been a perk of what we do now. So being able to go to Loveland, Colorado, hang out with everybody, see a ton of cool rigs and stuff like that, is just a fun side of this job. Um, we definitely had some fun out there. What was kind of the coolest thing you did or saw?
Man, for me, I would say probably my favorite one that I saw was that Ross Monster builds that they do.
Hmm.
I mean, dude, those are just the coolest. I mean, Mo and I, went up to their booth, talked to him for a second, and they made sure that we went inside and like actually looked at the truck, and it's insane how much room that you can get just in the bed of a pickup truck with just doing a cab swap. I mean, it's so cool.
Oh yeah. I mean, these things, they look pretty big from the outside when you're looking at them, but when you go inside, you feel all that space inside, and to have a stand-up shower, to have an induction cooktop, to have a pass through to a bed upstairs, it's beyond cool what they're able to do with the platforms they work on.
That was by far the most shocking thing for me when we went into the interior of that Ross Monster and we walk in and there's literally an upstairs. I mean, I don't even know how that's possible. I mean, I guess it makes sense. They obviously figured it out, but man, that was by far the coolest thing I saw probably.
Oh yeah, I mean it's on a crew cab truck, and it's like to know that if you were ever to ride that deep, 4 or 5 deep in that truck, everybody's gonna have a bed in the back of that thing. Nobody's gonna be roughing it. You have grandma's attic above the cab, you have the table that turns into a bed, and then you have the pass through up to another bed. So sleeping would be good in that thing.
Yeah. I mean, that is full on a vehicle that you could literally leave your house right now and go live in it for 5 years without even thinking twice about it.
Oh, and they're cool to see, because we have some of the vans around us, Northwest Arkansas, but not a lot of those type trucks are around. So when you get to go in them and experience them and see, how comfortable you live inside of them when you're on the road, you can see why that's becoming more of an option out west.
Yeah, yeah. Mo, what was your favorite vehicle you saw, you think?
I mean, quite a few favorites. One that really sticks out, Mountain Yoda's third gen Forerunner. They've gone above and beyond on this thing, and when it's fully flexed out, the front tire is standing about as tall as I am off the ground. So super cool to see what they've done with that and the wrap on it, with all the aliens and stuff is just super cool. Always like to see what those guys are doing. Very creative bunch. Their whole booth was solid, but that third gen just always stands out.
Oh yeah, man. I would love to see that thing in live action. I imagine it just eats.
Oh yeah, like, they've been working on it for some time now, but um, you can see, the time was not wasted, and it's a full on, wheeling machine. When they get it out, you can just tell it tackle about anything.
Yeah. And turns out Dwight knows what overlanding is. He gave us the greatest answer ever. So
He
yeah.
does, yeah. Certainly check out our Instagram page for that, or what is overlanding, because hit the nail on the head.
Yes, he did.
you know.
What do you feel like was the coolest thing you saw this year?
Oh man, I mean, I don't even know if this is Expo related, but our drive up, we were we're 13 hours from Loveland, and um we stopped in this small town of Wilson, Kansas, and I'm standing out front, we're pumping gas in the truck, and I noticed this red Pontiac Sunfire pull up, and it's missing half the plastic on the passenger side, got three different shades of tin on it. And as I'm standing there, I kind of turn my head, look down Main Street. When I turn back around, small town sheriff jumping out of this car, and he was probably pushing 60. Um, could use a little more exercise in his life. Had a tough time
Yeah.
getting around, but I kid you not, he probably had 30 pounds on his gun belt. Taser gun, magazines. He was ready for whatever popped off in that small town, and that was probably one of the funniest, coolest things I remember from this trip. Just a silly thing along the road, but really stuck out.
Dude, I'm telling you, it was so funny because the guy walks in and He it does not look like a sheriff at all. I mean, his shirt says sheriff. He's got a belt on, but he does not look like a sheriff. And he walks in, and his shirt's like all super baggy. His belt is literally like hanging halfway down his butt. I
The
mean,
weight of Wilson on his shoulders.
yeah, I mean, seriously, I think he was the force, you know. And like I looked at Mo when we walked out, I said, "Man, I'm pretty sure we could probably get away with some crimes in this town if we needed to." You know?
Uh,
So,
that guy was itching for any kind of
yeah,
action. He probably kind of a shoot first, not with the taser type, but
yeah,
strictly business.
yep. His name was Tim.
Yeah,
So yeah, it's always funny to go into like those little tiny towns, and then all of a sudden you see some random dude, just talking to Tim the sheriff, and you can tell Tim's probably known him since he was in his diapers, you know. So it's just funny.
oh yeah, we pulled into that gas stop and they knew, as soon as we jumped out of the car, not from Kansas.
Oh yeah, I mean, one guy came up to us and he's like, "Y'all hog hunters?" I was
Oh
like,
yeah, I mean he and we and uh, we've got that great, big boar pit on the side of our Tacoma, so it looks pretty wild and pretty, aggressive, like we may be into hunting hogs. But
yeah,
yeah, the reality is we had to let him down slow. But he still approved of us making bumpers in the USA. So we still had his blessing in at the end.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's funny because like I've heard a lot of people, they'll come up to you in fuel stations because obviously you're driving a vehicle with stuff strapped all over it. And, I've heard storm chaser a lot. People always think we're storm chasers, but first time I've ever heard hog hunter.
No,
And
no.
I was proud, Razorbacks. So, hey, that was cool.
Yeah, and then that right in our state, that's certainly something that goes on. But yeah, the storm chaser's always fun. I'm always telling them like I'm a storm runner away from her. Like trying to get away from those. Yeah, not a big fan of them. You
Yeah.
recently got caught in one, and I think you're kind of on the same boat now.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. My buddy Nick and I got stuck in that tornado that came through Bentonville. What was that, about 2 months ago now?
Yeah, Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah. And yeah, we got stuck in that tornado, man. We were camping out at War Eagle Creek. And man, this tornado, and I don't even know if the tornado went right through us, but by God, it felt like it. I mean, I lost my tent. Tent literally came off. Fortunately, I was not in it at this point, but rainfly got ripped off the tent. I run out of my tent to try to go get the rainfly. And then next thing I know, the tent is literally flying at me. So I dive, hit the deck. Um, thank the Lord my paddleboard didn't fly off because we were actually on an overnight float trip. So I ended up having to like makeshift structure where I ended up sleeping under my paddleboard. Had this dog come up out of nowhere and started like, I guess he was probably abandoned too. He came up and started cuddling with me, and we slept together all night. And um, trees coming down all right beside us. I mean, seriously, probably 50, 60 foot tall tree fell down no further than 30 feet from us. Man, it was just terrifying. Like I still like with storms, I used to not really be worried about them, but now, yeah, I mean, like they get me shaken up a little bit, but
If you can see a picture of this campsite, if you ever talk to Jo or whatever, call him on the phone. Um, you've got to see his little shanty town he created with his sup board and
yeah,
piece of a tent.
yeah.
Kept him dry enough, I'd say.
Yeah, yeah. What I did is I took my camp chair on one side and then put my cooler on the other, put the paddleboard on top of it, put my sleeping pad on the bottom of it, which got covered in sand within 5 seconds. So I was essentially sleeping on sand. But yeah, I did that. And then my tent that pretty much imploded, I took it and stuck it kind of on top and just kind of drooped it off the side. So that way that dog had like kind of a place to keep dry and I had a place to keep dry. And really, I just sat there all night and crossed my fingers and pray to God that no storms came back through. Because if they did, I'm not gonna lie, I probably would have said, "Take me away, take me, I'm done."
Oh, I've been caught in one, and that's really like the attitude you get to, that mentality of, I mean, I remember yelling at the wind to just stop,
Yeah,
knowing that's not doing anything, but yeah, been caught in a bad one. Like I said, they blow through here from time to time, and Now I'm kinda same as you, if it's gonna rain, that's one thing. If they're calling for storms, I may sit it out.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and it's like, yeah, I mean, it's just one of those deals where, to tell you the truth, like, it's probably just not worth it. Fortunately, we were camping in the middle of a gravel bar off the river, so not a lot of trees, but um, unfortunately, we were kind of camping sort of at the edge of that gravel bar, so that was probably not the smartest on our part. But hey, we came out alive. We're good to go, and it's just it's valuable lessons you learn for sure. And fortunately, it's a funny story I can always tell my kids and my grandkids as they get older.
No, it is. Like I said, when you were telling me, I was just, like, blown away, just one of those things, but, yeah. Yeah, definitely gotta watch out for the storms around here, and definitely not any kinda storm chase or anything like that, but
Yeah.
yeah. Well,
Another funny story I just thought about, when we were in Mountain West. This is pretty wild. So I actually was kind of blind for like 2 days. So
this
that was
this is pretty
wild.
good. Yeah.
So yeah, I had my glasses on my shirt, and we obviously found this out after the fact. But yeah, I had glasses on my shirt. We were moving the tent. I bent over, glasses fell off of my shirt onto the ground, and then unfortunately we rolled AstroTurf right over the top of it.
It's funny because we're standing in the sun all day, so Jo has got his sunglasses on, and he doesn't realize he's missing his glasses until we're gonna go catch a ride to, an after party, the Sherpa after party, and Jo all of a sudden he's like, "Man, I can't find my glasses," and we hunt for him, of course, we don't check under any mats, but we go through the rigs and everything, and Joe's content, and he's gonna make it and be fine, and then we got in an Uber, and and
Yeah.
he said looking at the road was, not his friend, so we like, and I mean, we didn't even find him the next day. I know you had to go another day with no glasses. We didn't find him until we rolled up the booth, and sure enough, there they were under that AstroTurf. We'd had people in the booth and everything like that, so they took a couple scratches, but it's a miracle. Like, they're not broken. Everything's in good shape. Like, he's still wearing them today. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
y-
People were literally walking on them for probably 2 days straight. So I'm super shocked that yeah, they're still in one piece. But man, it was funny. It was just like, yeah, riding in that car, I mean, you're already kind of seeing double anyways, because glasses are gone. And then, you know, we may have had a few beverages as well. So at that point, I was probably seeing quadruple also. And then once we got to the Sherpa party, it's like people that I had met were used to see me with my glasses. So then, of course, I'm kind of thinking in my head, like, man, are these people even going to recognize me? I'm sure I'm looking at them cross eyed and everything else. And man, it was funny. I never ridden a bull,
oh,
did awful. So that was terrible. I'm blaming it on the glasses, but really it was probably just user ability. So
I
it was.
mean, but you got up there, you jumped on that thing. I mean, as soon as you saw that there was a mechanical bull, it wasn't 5 seconds later, you're like, yep, I'm getting on that thing.
Got to, man. I mean, what? You probably have a shot at a mechanical bull probably what, every 5, 6 years on average. So it's like, dude, I saw that and I was like, man, PBR days are coming back. Unfortunately, they did not come back, but I was at least on it.
Oh, you say 5, 6 years. I'm like well into my whole life, and I don't think I've ever rode one. So,
What?
but yeah, maybe next time. Maybe
Oh
when you
man,
say it like that, I'm like, dude, he's got a point.
dude,
I don't see him a lot, and maybe next chance I get, I'll jump on one of these things and see if I can't go, a hair further.
man, we got to talk the boys into getting a mechanical bull in the shop.
No, and I mean, hats off to Sherpa, right? Alex and the guys, man, they threw one heck of an after party. And grateful for their hospitality.
Yeah.
Invite us over, show us around, stuff like that. Just kind of goes to show, even though we're competitors in this space, we're still friends and we get along great, and stuff like that. After hours, they just kind of sell one thing, we sell the other, and it's just nothing but all love.
Especially with us being from Arkansas. I mean, we're it here. I mean, there's no other companies around, and in Colorado, there's companies everywhere. So it's like to be invited, kind of, and feel welcomed. Man, that was seriously everything. I mean, it's yeah, Sherpa guys, thank you, seriously.
Oh yeah, and like you said, it's just all the folks in the space. They're been kind to us before, and same. We've let them know. If they're ever in this area, please stop by. We'd love to have them in, show them around and stuff like that. So definitely definitely thankful for the people we get to work with.
Yeah. And by the way, if y'all are looking for some incredible bull riders, call 4x4 Colorado or Forerunner Lifestyle. Dude, those dudes can ride some bulls. I swear Bastion was on it for what, 30 seconds and
Dude, they
just
had to
full
kick him off.
spin. Yeah.
Time expired. Like, get off the bull. He was not letting go, man. Strong young lad. And he just crushed.
Yeah, yeah. And then one of the 4x4 Colorado guys, of course, I was blind, so I couldn't really see very well who it was, but one of the guys literally got thrown off the bull, almost like through the entrance where you enter into the bull ring, like bounced off that entrance and somehow landed on his feet on the concrete. I mean, that dude was, I mean, five-star athlete for sure.
Yeah, and that's the thing. He's like all top tier athletes. You wouldn't ever know. But that's what peak performance looks like. Getting thrown off a bull, landing on your back, rolling over the asphalt, landing on your feet.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
it was it was good. That was a great Saturday night there, and Sunday obviously was good. Man, talked to a lot of folks. Debuted our Tundra products, up there. So um, thankful to have those out, and they look fantastic. Our boys over at the engineering room, they just crushed it on these things.
Yeah, dude, absolutely. Well, and Mo and I were so stoked because we had the Tundra there, but we didn't know it was going to go live on the website. Next thing we know, we get a text saying, "Hey, Tundra's live." So we're stoked. And then the most wild thing is, what was it on the way home? Maybe,
Yeah.
yeah. We end up getting a text saying, "Hey boys, I know y'all been wanting these rear swing outs to come back out for quite some time. Just letting you know they're back, and we're doing a limited run." Dude, Mo and I literally, we were so pumped.
Oh well, I mean, we were on like an 8 hour drive, finishing like the last leg. Where just north of Joplin, close to home, and you get a text message like that, man, talk about putting a little pep in your step.
Yeah.
It was something we've been wanting to do for a long time. We made a very, very limited run, when we first brought them out. And so to have them back, we hear about it all the time. People call us wondering when it's going to come back. And so to finally have them back, like I said, it's very exciting.
And that'll be, yeah, for the Tacoma and the Forerunner. Yeah, they'll both be doing limited runs on the dual swings. So hey, if you need one, give us a shout.
Yep, yep. It's a great product. I've run mine on my Forerunner since we first came out with them, and I've mixed it up, and always kept a spare on one side, but I've run Jerry's on the other side. Now I run a medium box on the other side for storage. And it just always holds up and handles whatever I throw at it.
No, I mean, dude, it's definitely got me jealous for sure, especially that box, man. First time I ever saw Mo swing that bad boy open, and he had literally a liquor cabinet in it. Oh, dude, I was thrilled.
Where else are you gonna keep your old fashioned stuff?
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
We're trying to have good times when we're out and about once we get to camp and stuff like that. But no, it's super exciting times at Backwoods right now. Like I said, with the Forerunner stuff coming out, the Tundra stuff coming out, and it just seems like we've got the fire, the wind in our sails, and it just feels like good energy around here. So thankful to see where we're going, excited to see where we're going.
For sure. And it's definitely one of those deals where we feel like 2025 is going to be killer. I mean, we are just, yeah, really, really bringing the train down the track. So, yeah, I mean, we couldn't be more excited, and definitely hope everyone kind of follows along with all that. And
Oh yeah, and we're gonna try and make it easy as possible to follow along. We've got our Instagram page. Obviously, we're doing podcast one right now, and then we've got some YouTube videos kind of highlighting how our products are used in everyday use. So very excited.
but guys, I mean, seriously, we do appreciate it for sure, and we're gonna, start doing these quite often. So definitely, subscribe,
Oh
do
yeah.
whatever you need to do. So
Oh yeah, and I'm excited for the stuff we're gonna be talking about on upcoming shows. We've got Evan, one of our lead engineers, with Backwoods. He kind of started this out of his shop, so we're gonna have him in, kind of go over what got him started. Why did he want to do this? Why did he want to make his own bumpers? And then some other exciting things down the line. So yeah, Excited to have y'all follow along. If y'all ever see us, man, say hey. Love to chat with y'all. And then yeah, call us on the lines if y'all have any issues.
Absolutely, guys. We definitely appreciate it for sure. And yeah, y'all have a great rest of your day. Peace.
See ya.